Wyatt.
Here.
And Lawson is excused absent.
Let's see, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Third.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
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 That's not done.
Opposed? All approved. Let's see here. Now I got to talk.
Now I gotta talk.
First of all, subject to tomorrow's validation by the Board of Supervisors, pleased that, congratulations to Gail and Kate for being re-elected and for Lori to be actually elected this time to her position.
Yay, congratulations. And also thank you to Danielle for putting the foot forward to want to run for that
Exactly,
site,
yeah.
because that's, we definitely need that.
Yep. Then the other thing I've got, I'm going to read a letter from Dr. Tony Voss from the Hudson School District, and this is not to toot my horn, it's to toot the horn of the rest of the city council as well as all the staff, including the police department. Dear Mayor Wessel and members of the council, local governance has certainly been a challenge over the last 2 years. Perhaps at the same time, our shared stakeholders don't often realize the role of local government and the fact that decisions made at the local level are likely to have much more impact on their daily lives than those made by state and federal agencies. Yet the discourse over this tumultuous time has spotlighted the work of our local servants and at times sowed division in our constituency. Elected officials have become accustomed to constant negativity and serve as the public square whereupon the masses can air their grievances. The purpose of my letter today is the exact opposite. I wish to lift you up, acknowledge the outstanding leadership you provide our city, and to thank you for your efforts. Frankly, I don't believe that you are doing a good job very often. That can be discouraging, and the fact is it is important for you to know the work you do matters and is appreciated. The decisions you have made have had a positive impact on the community and have improved the quality of life of our citizens in ways that will pay dividends for years to come. They include, number one, the Hudson Police Department. I'm particularly impressed with the leadership of Chief Banks and Sergeant Wiersma. Anytime the district is called for service, we have found the responding officers to be both professional and approachable. The transformation that has taken place in the department over the last couple of years is welcome and perhaps one of the leading indicators of how the quality of life in our community is being positively impacted. While I don't often have the opportunity to interact with other members of the force on a regular basis, I'm comforted in knowing we continue to offer 24/7 protection. Indeed, I am not a regular attendee of council meetings, however I do read the council material provided for each meeting. I'm very supportive of efforts being made to expand the force while offering a competitive wage increase. Number two, growth and development. At a recent chamber meeting, I was pleasantly surprised to learn that Hudson is experiencing population growth at approximately 10% annually. Now that was a miss on Dr. Voss's, because over the last 10 years since the last census, we've increased 11.6% in total. So we're going, right now we might be going at 3 to 4% per year, because a lot of the growth has been the last couple of years. But again, he's pleasantly surprised that we're growing. As we all know, growth can only improve our community as it enables us to expand the tax base and both add to and improve city services. The leadership provided by Administrator Wiersma is a testament to this forward thinking and strategic approach with a steady hand we need as our community grows. I was particularly impressed with how the city handled the request of the Dollar General store to locate on the south end of town. Initially, and admittedly, when this was first proposed, I was in support of this business. It was only after hearing the voice of our community my position changed. The way the mayor and council addressed this topic was both brilliant and forward-thinking. Number three, the sale of HMEU. Perhaps the most significant and impactful decisions of this council is the disposition of HMEU. I certainly don't understand the dichotomy that exists between the city council and the HMEU board, but there can be no mistaking the fact that it took real courage and leadership on the part of the council to do the homework, lead a task force, and call for a special election. I'm fully aware that much work remains in the coming months before this decision bears fruit, but the impact this will have not only on the school district, but the average citizen is significant. I anticipate the impact of this decision will be felt on the general operating fund of the school district immediately. Furthermore, the anticipated rebate check has already been earmarked to go towards the replacement of the roof over the academic wing of the old high school. Number 4, the water tower. Perhaps this is a silly thing to bring up, and to many of little consequence. However, since I am the one holding the pen, I'll freely give my opinion. I think it looks fantastic. The fact the city took the time to put the school logo on the side of the tower speaks volumes about the collegial and friendly relationship enjoyed by the city and the school district. It hasn't always been that way. I'm very heartened by the relationship we enjoy in the water tower, as superficial as it may be, speaks directly to that relationship. I know that at any time I can pick up the phone and call my counterpart in the city offices and have a great conversation, or have a very prompt response to an email. As an amenity, the water tower, as it has been refinished, is a true example of community pride. So, I thank you for your service to the citizens of Hudson. I thank you for the friendship and partnership in our shared goal of improving the quality of life of those citizens of our community. Keep up the good work and know that you have my full support. Sincerely, Dr. Anthony D. Voss, Superintendent of Schools.
Very nice.
So, thank you, Tony, for the thanks. Thank you, council. Thank you, staff, and everybody involved, because it's been a team effort of rolling along.
There's been a lot that's been accomplished in the last 5 or 6 years that have been amazing.
Yeah.
There has.
So what does Tony want from us?
Nothing that we've heard of yet.
You want your kid to come play basketball.
All right, no committee reports. Public hearing, I'll open the public hearing regarding the approval of the preliminary plat revision to Lot 2, Beaver's 4th minor subdivision plat. Any written?
No.
Any oral comments? I'll close the public hearing. Number 2, public hearing to amend the Hudson City Code 2017, Chapter 49, Parking Regulations, Section 6210, repealing the following language, parking limited to 2 hours. Anything written?
No.
Any oral? I'll have some comments when we get to it. Close the public hearing. General government, Hudson City Council maintains the right to waive the first and second readings of the ordinances presented and may pass the third and final reading of the same ordinance within the same council meeting. Before I go to item A, item A is discussion action to approve the first reading of ordinance 856, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances 6910 of the City of Hudson by repealing provisions pertaining to parking limited to 2 hours. Before I ask for a motion to it, I went down through the streets again today, because what I was focusing on when I mentioned the last meeting that I was going to bring this up for consideration is primarily Jefferson Street and School Street, where basically we haven't been enforcing any type of parking. Hasn't been any issue relative to it, and since 1998, with having residents parking there more than 2 to 4 hours and not having any complaints from anybody, I thought, okay, it's the right thing to do. The one area I have a concern about is when I pulled the actual ordinance, one of the streets is Washington Street on the east side between Wood Street and School Street. That would be the general pickup area. And I think the school actually has some of their own signs on there talking about the 7 to 9 and the other types of parking. So what I would request for consideration is to approve the first reading, but with not to eliminate the entire 2-hour segment, but to eliminate the streets of Washington Street on the west side between School Street and First, School Street on the north side between 58 and Washington Street, and South Jefferson Road on both sides of the School Street and First Street. So the question is, does that complicate the whole thing?
No, it could be, you could do a motion to amend the ordinance to eliminate 2-hour parking except for
The
streets
Washington
that you
Street
just
east side.
identified, yes.
Okay.
So would it be easier to leave, so you're asking for Washington Street from School to Wood Street is the only area to
Yes.
not have that?
Right.
Everything else will remove
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, I would make this motion to do that, except I only wanna pass the first one, because I do feel like we need to still
Mhm.
let people know that this is what's going on, and if anybody
Yeah.
does have an opinion, give
I
them
would
the time to
agree
do
with that.
that.
So you're making the
Second.
motion to make the amendment.
Correct.
So we just second.
And
And
Matt
Matt just
seconded
seconded
it.
Second?
Will you send me that verbatim?
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on the amendment? Roll call for the amendment?
Wyatt,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
motion carries
We
4-0.
don't need to re-public hearing that because of that, do we?
No,
Because the public hearing is just about the whole,
right, you just, right, so the public hearing was tell the public to come here and talk about it if you wanna talk about it. We did that.
okay,
Now you had your first reading, you amended your first reading.
and now we vote on, I'd make the motion to approve the whole thing?
No, you're gonna have your second reading under the amendment, well, technically, you're gonna approve the first reading of your amendment right now.
Right.
And then you're gonna have your second reading at your next meeting.
Right.
With the amendment included,
So your motion would be to approve
Approve
the first
the first
reading of the
reading
ordinance as amended.
as amended.
I'd make that motion.
Second.
Gail seconded. Any further discussion on that?
It's so
Okay,
confusing.
roll call.
these amendments.
I know.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
carries 4-0.
Item B, discussion action to approve resolution 2849, a resolution for approval of revised preliminary plat for Lot 2 Beaver's fourth minor subdivision plat. Okay, have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call.
Sewell,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
motion carries 4-0.
Item C, discussion action to approve resolution 2850, resolution approving the transfer of funds for October 2021. And this is basically the standard type of transfer, correct?
Yes, correct.
Our normal transfer, so moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
motion carries 4-0.
Number of informational items in the packet, reminder items, regular scheduled meetings held at the council chambers except for electric board and library board. Public Works, November 10th, 7 a.m. We'll be canceling the mayor's task force, which had been scheduled for November 16th. Public Safety, currently scheduled for November 18th at 4 p.m. Personnel Admin Finance Committee meeting, November 22nd at 4:45. Council meetings, November 22nd at 6 p.m. and December 20th at 6 p.m. as we only have one in December. Matt?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you all.